Ben with Design3 here, and I'm talking to Dick and Ricky, and they're talking about their game Hohokum. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, really good, thanks. Yeah.
So, what were the first games you guys started playing, and what are some of your favorite all-time games?
Straight in there.
I don't know, that's a hard question.
I know what the first game I ever played was, and it's really obvious, stupid answer, but it's Pong on an Atari.
Mine would have been like a kind of Game & Watch game where you're a caveman trying to get eggs right away from the Diplodocus.
The first game,
like caveman.
the first game that ever like really captured my imagination that I bought on the first day when it came out and played the shit out of was Elite. I guess.
And can you guys tell us how you got started in video game development?
I had an Amiga and I made games from when I was about 12 years old, manuals and stuff. And then I studied computer science at university, and then I joined an indie studio at university and been doing it ever since.
Yeah, my story's very different because up until very recently I've not been involved in video game development. I'm an artist and I went to art college and I do lots of kind of graphic art type stuff, and then I became friends with Ricky and we're actually in a band together, and then he kind of just said, we should make a game together, and so we started making games together like that. So although I've always played games, I've only recently been making them. So, yeah.
And Hohokum's the first game we've been making together. We've been making it for 3 years. So 3 years ago he sent me a picture of an idea that we should make into a game, and that was our starting point. And then over the years we've been working on it like in short bursts, like maybe a week or two at a time. And it's just evolved massively over that time.
Cool, and so can you tell us a little bit about Hohokum?
So the version we're showing at the moment is you fly this kind of long colourful snake around the world, and you can't die, you can't do anything, but you can pick people up who can ride on your back.
Yeah, people ride on your back, and so in the demo level that we've got here, you're rescuing people whose kind of village is under attack, it's being bombed, and you're taking them to a place of safety. So our elevator pitch for Hohokum is it's Nokia Snake meets Schindler's List.
Yeah, I saw that, and I actually wanted to ask you a specific question, if you could explain that a little bit more. The Nokia Snake meet Oscar
Oh, you already read that somewhere?
Yeah, I saw
I've
that.
got to stop saying that. It's people are getting bored of it.
I thought it was great, so I was curious.
I'm really bored of it.
Rider meets the littlest hobo.
Yeah, I'm really bored of it, and every time we do a talk, I say, shall we drop that whole Schindler's thing, and then, but it always gets a big laugh. So yeah, there we go.
So can you tell us what software you guys use to make the game?
It's all Flash.
All Flash.
He does the drawings in Illustrator, and then they come into Flash, they're animated, and the game is all Flash.
We use Flash as just like a prototyping tool. It's like it's for a thing like this, it's a collaboration between an artist and a dev. It's really intuitive because I can literally draw in Flash, and I already know how to animate stuff in Flash, so we don't have to worry about getting the art into the game. I can literally just get in there and muck about with it. And
in fact, we've been while we've been showing it here, we've been tweaking it. So we've literally had half an hour of let's make a change there. We go away, open the laptop. Dick will make some art changes. I'll make some code changes. We'll build a new version and put it straight back up. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to my nenext question. How do you go about play testing, and refining the game?
Well, so before we were at IGF, we were at another thing called the Eurogame India update. And that was another opportunity to show the game to loads of people. And for us, that's one of the best things about being in the IGF.
It's happening. Playtesting is happening here and now.
Watch people play the game.
Yeah. What we've got here is it's a sketch of a game. It's a rough demo, and it's a bit shonky and a bit rough around the edges, but it's enough that you can sort of start to see how different people play it and what different people want to get out of a game and how different people respond to it. And it's interesting that lots of people are drawn a certain type of person is drawn to it by the art style, but then what does is there any kind of common thread of the sort of thing that the sort of person who's drawn to it by the art style will expect from a game? Is there a connection there, or do some people want really defined, obvious traditional kind of goals, traditional game style goals, score these points, do this race, get through these gates quickly enough, or do they want to just do something a bit more playful and whimsical? Yeah.
We have a lot of things in our game which are just pure. They're purely there just to be fun and silly. There's no objective. There's a whole playground at the top of the level which we call the Human Zone, and it's just a whole load of things which like attract and repel you, which you bounce off.
Yeah.
And there's no real point to it exactly, but it's just a sort of playful area.
I think one of the interesting things about our game is that the way you move and what you are is quite expressive compared. You're kind of drawing all the time, and but it's kind of not like drawing with a pen. It's more like flying a stunt kite, where there's a long tail and you can make curly shapes and stuff. So we want to give people room just to sort of almost zone out, and you see a lot of people who just get a kick out of making strange shapes and patterns and stuff. But at the same time, there's no reason why there can't also be kind of objectives and achievements within that. So maybe in amongst all this play, you happen to hit a few things in a particular order, and then something new happens. So there's a kind of there are rewards even for play. That's right. We're not quite like this version doesn't have that much stuff like that in it, but just from watching people playing it, you can see how that's the way forwards for this game. Maybe, yeah.
So, what advice would you give to people who want to get started making their own video games?
Start making their own video games.
Make one in the next 48 hours. That would be my advice.
There's an embarrassing wealth of tools out there. It's never been easier to make a video game. There's really no excuse if you want to make a video game. There's no reason.
There's no excuse.
As long as you've got a computer, you can make a computer.
Yeah. A guy came up to me who's like one of the volunteers here, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm really want to get into the indie scene." And I said, "You're in it. You're in it. There is no. That's like saying, oh, he said break into. Really want to break into the indie scene." And I was like, that's like trying to break into a park. It's open. It's everyone. There is no barrier to entry. You don't have to know anybody. You don't have to own anything. You don't have to. You just have to have. You just have to want to do it.
Well, you need a computer and an internet connection.
Yeah, who's not got a computer and an internet connection? Maybe, yeah.
So our last question we've been asking everybody: if you had to, kind of sum up video game design in just one word, what would you do? About one word.
I'd say for me, I'd say collaboration, because that's everything is driven by our friendship and our relationship, and also our arguments and disagreements, and just the dynamic between us. And for me, that's what drives it. And I couldn't do it on my own, not because I haven't got the skills to do it on my own, but I wouldn't find it interesting on my own. But that's just for me.
I'm going to choose the word exploring.
That's better. Yeah, I wish I'd thought of that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your time, and
thank you very much.